Is a good laugh, and that's what we'll have tonight. Because after the winter we went through, we could use a good laugh. You snowbirds don't know what you're missing. Okay, now, I'd like to get things going with a few wives jokes. I have some wives jokes, so we'll kick it off with some jokes. And there's a story about the wife sitting on the porch with her husband having a glass of wine. And she says, "I love you." And the husband said, "Is that you talking or the wine?" And she said, "That's me talking to the wine." Then we have the couple that are watching television together, and as usual, the male has the remote. He's always in charge of the remote. And he's switching between the fishing channel and the pornography channel. And he's going back and forth, porno, fishing, promo, fishing. Finally, the wife gets all excited. She's aggravated. She says, "Will you stop? Leave it on the pornography channel. You already know how to fish." That's number two. This one is one of my favorites. This wife is struggling to get on a pair of tight jeans. And the husband is looking at her and he says, "You know, if you would drink some Slim Fast every once in a while, instead of those hamburgers and French fries, you'd have an easier time." She doesn't say a word. A week later, he's putting on his underwear, and there's white powder coming out of his underwear. And he says, "Hey, hon, what's this white powder in my underwear?" And she says, "Miracle Grow."
I remember that one.
Okay, at this time, I would like to introduce to you Sam Newman and Willie Kayser. We all know them. They've been members of the Rossmoor Players. I won't say how long, Sam, so we'll just leave it at that. However, Willie is the president of the Players right now. Sam, we've all enjoyed his monthly article in the Rossmoor News, Sam's Eye View. So they're well known. And they're up here to give their version of a very famous skit that was made famous by Nichols in May. As a matter of fact, they performed that on Broadway many years ago. Now, Sam and Willie are not presumptuous enough for them to presume to be mentioned in the same sentence with that great couple. However, there was one distinction. Nichols and May got paid. So, here they are, Newman and Kayser doing The Rocket Scientist and His Mother.
Well,
Hello, Seymour. This is your mother. Remember me?
Mother, isn't it funny? I was just about to call you. I had my hand on the phone. Honestly.
You were supposed to call me last Friday.
I know. Really, I just didn't have a second. I could cut my throat.
I sat by that phone all day Friday,
Mom,
and all day Friday night, and all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. father finally said, Estelle, eat something before you faint. I said, no, Harry. I don't want my mouth to be full when my son calls. And you never called.
Mom, I was sending up a rocket when you called.
Well, it's always something, isn't it?
Mom.
I'm sure all the other scientists there have mothers.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they all find time before the count up
Down.
to pick up a phone and call.
Well, now you have me on the phone.
You know how I worry.
That's the point.
I read in the papers that you're still losing them.
Mother, I don't lose them.
I nearly went out of my mind.
Oh,
I thought, what if they're taking it out of his pay?
Mom. Okay, Mom. That's it.
I will send you a postage stamp if it's so hard.
Mother, how are you?
I'm sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's wrong?
Nothing. Well, you know what it is, Seymour.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's always been.
Yeah.
It's my nerves.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor and he told me.
Yeah.
He said, Mrs. Weiss, you are a nervous person,
Yeah.
a very high-strung woman.
Yeah. Yeah. God knows that's true.
And you can't have the slightest bit of aggravation.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that.
Yeah.
So I said,
Yeah.
you see, doctor,
Yeah.
I have this son,
Oh, Mom.
and he's always very busy. It's the truth. He's always busy.
Oh.
Too busy to pick up a phone and call his mother.
Mom.
When I said that to him, that man turned pale. He said, Mrs. Weiss, I've been a doctor for 35 years, and I have never heard a son tell his mother he was too busy to pick up a phone and call her.
Mom.
That's just what he said to me, Seymour, and that man is a doctor.
Mother, please. What did the doctor say he's going to do with you?
I may be in the hospital for a while.
The hospital? The hospital? What are they going to do?
Well, they'll x-ray my nerves.
Mother, why didn't you let me know?
I didn't want to aggravate you. Never mind about me. About you, Seymour.
Yeah.
How is your hangnail?
Mother, please. Listen to me, please. Just don't worry.
Seymour, what does that mean, don't worry? What does it mean, honey? Don't worry.
Nothing. Nothing. Just the first thing came to my head.
Seymour, listen to me. I'm a mother.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Listen, what's the use of talking? You know,
Yeah.
you're very young.
Yeah.
Someday, honey, you'll get married and have children of your own. And when you do, I only pray they'll make you suffer the way you're making me suffer. That's all I pray, Seymour. That's a mother's prayer.
Okay, Mom. Thanks for calling.
You're very sarcastic.
Mother, I'm doing my best. When you called, I tried to explain that I was busy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I bothered you when you were so busy.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry. Believe me, I won't be around here much longer to bother you. I hope I didn't make you feel bad.
Are you kidding? I feel terrible.
Oh, honey, if I could believe that, I'd be the happiest mother in the world.
What do you think? I feel rotten.
Then Seymour, honey,
Yeah.
why don't you call me? Honey,
Yeah.
I know that I nag you.
Uh-huh.
You got a nagging mother. I'm kidding. You know you're my baby.
Yeah.
And listen, you're the only baby I've got. When you get to be 100 years old, you'll still be my baby. And honey, I can't help it. I worry. Is it so hard to pick up a phone and call your mommy? Oh, please, baby, please.
I will. I promise.
Oh, baby, your mommy would be so happy.
Well, if my mommy's happy, I'm happy.
And mommy wants to wish you lots of luck with your rockets.
Thank you, Mommy.
And remember, mommy loves you.
I love you too, Mommy.
Bye-bye, baby.
Bye-bye, Mommy. Yum, yum, yum,
Sam Newman and Willie Kayser. Always a nice job. Thank you very much. While I was listening to the mother, it reminded me of another joke. And it was two cavemen are standing there, and there's a cave woman to the side. And one caveman says to the other, "I'm teaching her how to speak. How much trouble could it be?" Get it? Trouble? You women have been talking for the rest of your life? All right. You didn't want to laugh. Okay, now that I told you some wife jokes, I think we should have equal time for the men, right? So, we'll start off with this. This officer is chasing this guy in this car. They're going over 100 miles an hour down hill and dale, and over 35, 40 minutes he's chasing this guy. He finally pulls him over to the side, and the policeman says, "You realize for 40 minutes I've been chasing you 100 miles an hour? You better have a good reason." And the driver said, "Officer, 6 months ago, my wife ran away with a policeman. I thought you were him trying to bring her back." The cop let him go. Then there's the one of Murray. Murray is 85 years old, and he just had his annual physical. And doctor said, "Yeah, you're in pretty good shape. Anything on your mind?" He said, "Yeah, doc, there's one thing that's troubling me." He said, "The first time I make love to my wife, I'm all hot and sweaty. And the second time, I'm cold and shivering." The doctor said, I don't know, Murray. Thank God you could still talk about this. the wife comes in, she has her physical, and the doctor says to her what Murray had told him. And she shook her head and she said, "That idiot. That's because the first time is August and the second time is February." My favorite is also Murray. He's 85 years old. He's reading the Sunday paper, and all of a sudden he gets up and he starts to get dressed. Wife says, "Where are you going?" She says, "I just read here where they want sperm donation by geniuses. And I'm a genius." She said, "You're also 85. Sit down, read the paper." He said, No, I'm going." And Murray gets dressed. He goes to the sperm bank. He says, "All right, where do I sign? What do I do?" He said, the nurses look at him. They see how old he is. They said, "Well, sir, don't sir me. I'm a genius. Here's my credentials. I want to donate." So the nurses said, "All right, here's a jar. Go in the room." So now they're worried about him, so they're listening behind the door. And Murray is in there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and he's starting to mutter, and he's getting very agitated, and he's almost swearing out loud. He finally comes out 40 minutes later. He's all sweated, perspired. His sleeves are rolled up. He said, "I don't understand." He said, "I tried with my right hand. I tried with my left hand. I can't get the top off this jar." That's my favorite.
Good audience.
Okay, the time has come for our main event, and it is with a lot of anticipation, and we're all waiting to see Richie Byrne. He had quite a resume. We looked him up on the internet, and I hope I can remember half the things that he did. First of all, he played in all the great comedy clubs. Dangerfields, Caroline's, the Gotham Comedy Center in Manhattan, and all other clubs throughout the country. He also appeared on TV. He was the Rosie O'Donnell Show, Good Morning America, excuse me, and presently he is the warm-up act for the famous, very popular Dr. Oz Daily Show. As a matter of fact, we have Nicole here, who also works on the Dr. Oz show. So we have two celebrities in the audience. Richie also has appeared on television, Law and Order. I think we've all been on Law and Order here one time. He was Sex and the City and The Sopranos on HBO, and he also did Criminal Intent. Now, the part that impressed me most about Richie is that, as I said earlier, we all could use laughter to help us along. And Richie donates his talents to the, help me out, I forgot.
Comedy Cures?
I'm sorry?
Comedy Cures?
That's right, Comedy Cures, thank you. He appears at Comedy Cures. It's an organization that goes around hospitals and they help out people that are sick through comedy. So, it's my pleasure to present to you Mr. Richie Byrne.
How about a big hand for Joe right there? Wow, that was great. And a big hand for everybody who performed. Let them hear it. That was great, Joe. Thank you. Wow. I didn't know I was so impressive.
You are.
And I know Nicole. It's really weird because Nicole does work with me at Dr. Oz, so it's interesting we're both here because she's the best looking girl at Dr. Oz. And I'm the best looking guy. So, how are you? Rossmoor, yeah! I did Rosie O'Donnell show 12 years ago. She said big things were about to happen for me. Finally, Rossmoor. 12 more years. Great, help yourself. show now. It's good to